Hey everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create this awesome effect in Blender. Let's dive right in. Step 1. Set up your scene. First, let's start by setting up our scene. Open Blender and we'll begin by clearing the default objects. Press A on your keyboard to select all objects, then press Delete to remove them from the scene. Step 2. Add the cube and shape the container. Now, let's add our main object. Press Shift plus A, then navigate to Mesh and select Cube. Once the cube appears in the scene, select it and press Tab to enter edit mode. Next, switch to face select mode by clicking the face icon. Select the top face of the cube, then press X and choose Faces to delete it. Now, let's shape our cube into a container. Switch to edge select mode by clicking here and hold Shift to select all the edges of the cube. With all edges selected, press Ctrl plus B to bevel the edges. You can use your mouse wheel to adjust the number of segments and set the bevel to your liking. After that, you can copy my transform setting to get this look. Step 3. Add the lemon and can models. Next, let's add a lemon and a can to our scene. You can use your own models or find them on websites like BlenderKit or Sketchfab. For this tutorial, I'm going to assume you've got the models ready. Once you have the lemon model, select it and press G followed by Z to move it upwards on the Z-axis. Position it like so, just above the container. Now let's organize our scene. With the lemon selected, press M on your keyboard to move it to a new collection. Name the collection Lemons or whatever works for you. Step 4. Use array modifier to duplicate lemons. Now, let's make a bunch of lemons. Go to the Modifiers tab and click Add Modifier. Choose Generate and select Array from the list. Let's set this up in the top view. Press 7 on your keyboard to get the top view. In the Array modifier under Count, set the number to 7. You can adjust this number to suit your scene. In the Relative Offset section, change the X value to 1.1 to space the lemons out horizontally. You can adjust this value if needed. Now duplicate the array modifier by clicking the Duplicate Modifier button. For the Y-axis, set the count to 8 and the relative offset Y value to 1.1 and make relative offset X value to 0. Again, feel free to adjust these values. Repeat the same process for the Z-axis, setting the count to whatever fits your scene and the Z offset to 1.1 and make relative offset X and Y value to 0 inches. Step 5. Apply modifiers and set physics. Once you're happy with the placement of the lemons or you can copy my transform settings, now select all the lemons and apply the modifiers by choosing Apply Modifiers. Next, we're going to add physics to the scene. Select the lemons, go to the Physics Properties tab and choose Rigid Body. For the lemons, set the type to active and adjust the settings as needed. You can copy my settings or experiment with your own. Now, let's apply physics to the container. Select the container, go to the Physics Properties tab, and set it to Rigid Body as well. But this time, set the type to passive since the container is not moving. For the collision shape, choose Mesh. Now set timeline to 269 frames or whatever fits your scene. Press spacebar to play the simulation, and you should see the lemons fall and interact with the container. Step 6. Separate lemons into individual objects. At this point, we want to separate the lemons into individual objects. With all the lemons selected, press Tab to go into edit mode. Select all the lemons by pressing A, then press P, and choose Separate by Loose Parts. Exit edit mode by pressing Tab again. Now select all the lemons by right-clicking on the lemon collection and choosing Select Objects. Let's set the origin of all the lemons to the geometry. Right-click on the lemons, go to Set Origin, and choose Origin to Geometry. Step 7. Add the can model. Next, let's add the can to the scene. You can position the can either on the empty or place it directly inside the container, depending on your preference. I'm going to position it on the empty, but feel free to adjust it however you like. After that, select the can and position it inside the container, or you can copy my transform settings. Now select can. Go to the Physics Properties tab again and select Rigid Body for the can. This time, set the type to active since the can will be moving. Make sure to enable the animate checkbox so the can moves during the simulation. After selecting the can or the empty, animate the can like this. At frame 60, set a keyframe on the z-axis by pressing I on your keyboard. Then at frame 100, set another keyframe on the z-axis. Now press space to play the animation. Depending on your computer's performance, this may take some time, so be patient. Once the simulation finishes, everything should fall and interact as expected. Step 9. Add lighting and camera. Finally, let's add some lighting and a camera to complete the scene. I'm going to add an area light and adjust its settings, as well as add a camera to frame the shot. You can copy my settings for these look or adjust them to your liking. And that's it. You've successfully created an animated scene with lemons falling into a container. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you found this tutorial helpful.